Strong we stand. United we are. We hold our sticks. Casting our fire spells. Spamming our banners. Spamming spell sim like motherfuckers. The devs didn't like it. Neither did pussy Kagit players. Neither did Sorks carrying a fucking two-handed weapon thinking this is Skyrim. Then it all started. Our saddest day has finally come. Zenimax nerfed us to shit. They didn't like our 10 trillion burst DPS. They didn't like our 12 million AoE DPS. They didn't like the fact that we can AFK tank the hardest trial. They didn't like that Templars, Sorks, or even Kagit's Nightblades weren't needed anymore. They thought they can do it. But in reality they can't. You can't piss on someone's feet and tell them it's raining. You can't fix broken OP shit when it's already too late. Even the most noob player, even Razgriz himself can actually still be useful on a DK. We will never give up. We will keep trying to find the most broken build and abuse it to fuck like it's cocaine. We can still 1v50 people in PvP cause we can quickscope faster than you knew. Don't be jealous scrub cause you keep getting shit on by high skilled DKs like Swagazam and Anzi. I actually made this anthem cause I'm bored waiting for my League of Legends update to finish. And I can't play ESO cause my fucking game keeps crashing like Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. We are DKs. We are Legion. We never forget. We never forgive. Expect us. Fuck you and have a nice day.
Hey guys, this is my PvP Magicka DK build video. We are Dark Elf Dragonknight. Dark Elf is probably the best race, although High Elf or Breton would fit really well too, I guess. And yeah, we're playing on Azura. This is why the stats are so low and why the champion points distribution doesn't really matter that much. And let's jump right into the gear. We're using 2 pieces of Bloodspawn, though you could use Scoria here instead for a little bit more burst damage. You might consider running Scoria in open world too for the next patch when they buff it to 8% and more damage. Then we're using 5-piece Sun on jewelry and 2 other pieces, and 5 piece of Karenek soap. I'm going 5 light armor because I want the extra spell penetration from the light armor passive. Yeah, well, I have 5 pieces impenetrable and 2 pieces sturdy at the moment, but I would like to trade this shield for another sturdy shield, so I would have 5 impen and 3 sturdy on the trades. The enchantments on the jewelry are either cost reduction or Magicka recovery. I didn't really calculate it, what would be better stat wise and sustain wise, but I think if you spam a lot, and I'm spamming a lot, cost reduction would actually be a little bit better. Yeah, well, I don't have the gold at the moment to test this out, so yeah, fuck it. On the secondary bar we have a restoration staff for heals because Dragon Blood sucks for heals, and that's why we need a restoration staff. Also, if you play with rapid regeneration, the Maelstrom restoration staff gives you every time you crit with rapid reg a little bit Magicka back, so yeah, this is nice to sustain. With Kagrenax and Sun we have relatively little sustain. We have like 1.7k Magicka reg and it goes up to like 1.8k 5, 1.9k if we have the resource buff, and then it's really okay. With whip costs of like 2.3k, it really works fine with spamming ultimates and using tri-stat potions here. Well, the next thing would probably be the skills. I'm using actually Invasion instead of Fossilize because I like to charge faster to enemies, and when we're playing in a group we often need to charge into groups to have a faster ink and stuff like that, and that's why I play mainly with Invasion, but you can put in Fossilize or the other morph of it here, and then have a more suitable solo build. Whip should be self-explanatory. You can use Molten Whip if you want, but on Azura I actually like Flame Lash because of the cost-free Power Lash follow-up thingy, and it does even a little bit increased damage and a little hot, so this is really nice to have. Talents, yeah, talents are talents, nothing much to say. Scales, well, you could use the other morph also, but I personally like to have a lot of damage, and yeah, we have more damage with this morph. And Draw a Sense, here you could also use a different morph, but since both morphs do the same damage, I choose this morph because we have other DKs with Deep Breath, and on Asura I really like the Magicka refunding, so yeah. Standard of Might, well, you could slot Meteor, but I don't know. Meteor deals not that much damage on Azura, while Banner has a really nice debuff and also makes you a little bit more tankier, and while we're playing light armor we are not that tanky, and that's why I really like the reduced damage by 20%, and also it deals a lot of damage. Also it's nice to have the synergy with a mate or something, it deals good damage too. And on the restoration bar we have volatile armor. In light armor this skill is mandatory, you have to use this, doesn't matter what morph, but the major award and physical resistance and spell resistance you get are way too strong to give up. You really need this. The next skill I personally slot Cinderstorm here because I like to snare people inside my banner, or if we have really tight locations like Alessia Bridge or something like that. Cinderstorm is really nice to keep them in place together with talents, and then you can just whip them to death. But you can also slot Burning Embers here for a little extra heal when you're solo, or you can slot Fossilize or Igneous Shield for stronger heals, or Engulfing Flames for more damage. Yeah, well, it's kind of up to you what you use on the sword here, but I personally prefer Cinderstorm. The next skill I have Elusive Mist, and it's really nice for repositioning, and basically the only thing you can use as DK to reposition yourself, so yeah, well, you kind of are forced to use this. If you're playing solo you might not need this because you're not engaging that much, but yeah, I kind of think it's mandatory too. Then the next slot is a heal of your choice. I personally prefer Healing Ward over Dragonblood because Dragonblood sucks and doesn't heal really much, and yeah, you know. And a Healing Ward also is nice for helping out a friend in a 2 or 3 man group, so you got that going for you. And on the last slot I'm often swapping between Igneous Shield and Proximity Detonation. Proximity Detonation is really nice for those bigger inks when you just charge up detonation, charge in, place your banner, let the detonation go up, timed with a Draw a Sense, and just whip the shit out of them. Works really nice most of the time because we have really high damage with like 1700 spell damage unbuffed, and if you take a spell power potion it goes up, and if you have continuous attacks it goes up to, I think, up to 1.9, 2k or something, and then we have the extra spell damage of Kagrenax, the 200, and the extra 400 of Sun, so we get like up to 2.7k, 2.6k spell damage with this setup, which is really nice. Here you can see the resistances with volatile armor, and if Bloodspawn procs, which it should be really often, I basically have it all the time when people attack me, it goes up by another 6.5k or something, so we have really nice resistances then too. Like 26k, 27k here, and over 20k physical. It's fine. If you like some sustain with this setup, which could happen if you don't have the combat frenzy passives for more ultimates and don't kill enough shit, or enemies are too tanky or something, then you might consider swapping in rapid reg like here or something where you want, because rapid reg will give you extra magicka with maelstrom restoration staff if you have the maelstrom restoration staff. Otherwise you might want harness magicka here. It also gives you a bit more tankiness, and if you get hit by magicka skills you get restored magicka, which is nice too, which would be better on a champion point campaign with some champion points and increase your shield passive thingy, but it works decently enough on Azura. People on Azura are mostly so stupid, they don't even walk out of banner, so you got that going for you, which is nice, I guess. And secondary ultimate, I have Devouring Swarm. It's cheap, it gives you a lot of resources back, it does decent damage, it's just an overall nice pick to have. If you don't want to go Vampire, you can use Take Flight or the other morph of Take Flight for a little bit burst, but you really should go Vampire because of Supernatural Recovery and Undeath and Mistform as well, so that's really nice. If you don't want to use Invasion, you can also use Invigorating Drain here for a little bit more ultimate, but if I wouldn't use Invasion, I would prefer Fossilite there, I guess, because Fossilite stuns through a blocking target, while Invigorating Drain doesn't. Invigorating Drain just has the advantage that it gives you ultimate. Well, another thing you have to consider is to always use one of these 3 skills here: Igneous Shield, Fossilize, or either Cinderstorm, because of the Mountain's Blessing passive, which will give you 3 ultimate every 6 seconds when you use a skill, which makes it mandatory to have one of these. And because of Helping Hands, which will restore your stamina for blocking if you use this, so I really recommend using at least one of these 3 skills. It's way too strong. You just need those passives. It's really strong. Another thing to consider is empowering chains here as a gap closer instead of invasion if you really have a hard time to manage your stamina, but I personally don't like the skill because it's often buggy with having a target which is too high or too low, and then you can't use this, and it also doesn't stun, so you would have to run this together with Fossilize, which would cost you even more space on your bar, so that kind of sucks. So I'm using Invasion like the good old times. Yeah, I think basically that would be the most important stuff. You should obviously use 5 light, 1 heavy and 1 medium armor piece, because of the 6-person passive from the Undaunted guild, which will give you more resources, so you have like 30.1 or 30.6 or 30 something k magicka, 25k health or 24k, it's decent, and like 15k stamina, which should be kind of enough actually to sustain this. My boon is the Atronek for more magicka recovery. It's kind of the only choice. Every other Mundus kind of sucks. And yeah, that's basically the most important things about the build. If you have any questions about this build, just ask them in the comments and I will try to answer them as fast as possible. And I hope you enjoyed this and have fun with this build playing on Azura. Oh, actually, what I could say is if you go the champion point campaign, you can also play this build, but I would recommend swapping the 5 light Kagrenax into 5 heavy Kagrenax. So you're running 5 heavy for the constitution passive and a little bit more tankiness, because you have champion points, which could then give you more spell penetration and also buff your fire attacks, so the heavy armor might be worth it and actually be a lot of make you a lot of make it a lot easier for you to sustain, and yeah, it's just easier to play with heavy armor on a champion point campaign as DK than with light armor or on Azura generally, but I personally prefer Azura. It has this old school feeling attached to it, like, you know, this nostalgic touch from 1.5, and yeah. Well, I think that was everything. As I already said, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something, and have fun, guys.